So, as you know, I went to a doctor yesterday. So, the secretary, and you know how I feel about secretaries. Well, the receptionist, anyway, whatever she wants to call herself. Oh, we have a new thing now. There's some paperwork you have to sign, and now, mind you, the hospital, they want you to sign all this stuff, but they don't have a screen so you can see what you're signing. They can tell you you're signing whatever. You understand? Because what some of these crooked people do is they tell you you have to fill out certain policies or whatever the case may be. It could be a hospital or whatever, and they don't have the screen for you to see. You don't know what you're signing. You could be signing your lotto ticket away. You understand? So now the other thing is she asked me for my ID, my state ID. I'm like, I thought that the hospital ID is good enough. Oh no, we need a state ID. Now they can, if you're crooked, you can do anything with my state ID. So now I have to give her my state ID. So now it's in the dark web. Don't know if these people are really using it for what they say they're using it, or somebody can go in the files, get a copy of my license or whatever ID, and try to get a copy of it so they can cash checks. They can pretend to be me. You understand? It's a shame that you can't trust certain people, but if they look crooked and if they look grimy and they show you attitude and they coming up with these new things or whatever, it really makes me think. So now they have a copy of my state ID, and I know for a fact one of the one of the assistants, I don't know if she's assistant, a doctor, a nurse, or whatever. She's black, she's French. I don't know what you're doing with that ID. I don't know if you're gonna get a copy of my ID. You understand? So, but I gave it to them anyway. And I'm saying, you got to be careful. But sometimes you can't help it because they demand certain things or whatever. And but now, my ID's floating around, and I gave it to a hospital. So if someone is showing an ID of me and they don't look like me, it's because it's not me. This is me right here. Not somebody who looks like me or whatever. Just be aware, because people is watching me all over the place. Like I told you yesterday, certain people is cashing my checks. They got people working at the bank. Then the cops is involved. All my calls was going into one center. I don't know how they did it, but they locked in my phone because they went into my phone company. I don't know how the cops do it, that when you make a phone call or when or whatever, they route your calls to their people. Because I'm like, my God, I'm speaking to the same kind of people all the time. You understand? And I'm like, how come? I mean, there's no blacks, there's no whites, there's nothing. It's just a whole yeah. And my antennas just go up. My antenna just goes up. So um it's not a prejudice or whatever. It's just that certain people is bothering me. That so happen to be Spanish, that so happen to be Haitian, and other and Jamaican or whatever. So when I'm always making a call to different companies, and only, say for instance, only Spanish people is answering the phone. I'm like, okay. Or when I go to the doctors, only Haitians deal with me. You protecting your people. Why? Why are you so interested in me? I'm just here to see the doctor. I'm here minding my business. But you're putting your people all over me. I'm in the hospital for 5 months, and that's all that was surrounding me. So what are you watching me for? I'm minding my business. But you want to control me. You can't control me. So if anybody is showing my ID for something, let it be known it came from the hospital. And like I told one person on the phone today, everything can be traced. You think you cute by, putting in false numbers and getting these apps to give you everything can be traced. So if you're cashing checks in my name, if you're signing paperwork in my name, if you're doing whatever in my name, everything can be traced because I'm here. So if people say, "Oh, you have this," what? Okay, no, I haven't received anything. I haven't received no money from nobody. No big checks, no lotto winnings or nothing. Somebody's cashing a check and they getting the money because they got people set up at the bank. I'm even minding my business, and I made the video about me getting the $600 from the government. Do you know somebody tried to get that money from me? They send me messages. They keep bothering me, and I'm like, why you keep. So these people have all their little schemes and all their little tricks, and there's no letting up with these people. All they know, all they wake up each morning is, how can I steal somebody else's hard-earned money, steal somebody's money? How can, that's all it's not, oh, let me get up, I gotta take care of my kids, let me get up, get a job, look in the paper, go on the internet, look for it. No, their job is to scheme people day in, day out. So when I notify who I'm going to notify and they lose everything, please do not feel sorry for them. Because I told them, I'm like, you're going to lose everything. You're busy here scheming, and you think you're not going to be caught. So don't matter what fake number that you get, no matter what app you get, you're going to be traced. So I say all this to say, went to the hospital and they asked me to sign some paperwork. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to ask me to sign paperwork, you should have another screen so I can see it, what I'm signing. Or you're going to see after you sign. I don't know if that's what I'm signing. You could just be. So get a double screen so the secretary have their portion and the patients have their portion so we can see what we're signing at that moment, or else, this is always going to happen, the mistrust. You understand? Patients are not going to trust people with their personal business and personal IDs. So maybe they need an ID to cash a check. Because I don't know, maybe they can't go in the bank no more since I blew them up yesterday, and I told how they changing checks and the person, because that's what they're doing. Two of my neighbors know. Well, I shouldn't even say just two, but the Spanish guy and the Haitians, because they are so trying to find out what I'm doing. And I noticed this over and over. And every time I went to the bank, the same person. How am I so lucky to have the same person all the time serving me? The same person. And it'd be crowded in the bank all the time. And I'm waiting. I'm seeing people go up. Blah, 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 blah. And then, one time I went, it wasn't that crowded. And I waited for an hour. And they finally called me, and I went back there, and the same person serves me. And I'm looking around like, but nobody else seems busy. How come this is like the third or fourth time I'm coming to the bank and the same person is serving me all the time? Why? Why is that? So that means y'all know what's going on and y'all not doing nothing about it. Because sometimes you're lucky if you see the same person twice in 1 year, or get the same person twice in 1 year, much less every time you go to the bank. And there's like, what, 6 or 7 or 8 other people serving customers? How come I'm that lucky to see the same person all the time? All these little tricks. People be thinking so much about how to con people, and then they want to blame government for everything. It's like you did it to yourself sometimes. So let's see what transpires with my ID. I went outside this morning, and my mailbox is all the way down, out of the range of my camera. Gate wide open. So they must be expecting a check. They must be expecting me to get something that they don't want me to see, to let me know that I've been getting this all this time. Because then if I get one check, then I'm gonna call whoever check name is on the check and say, well, listen, is this the first check you sent me? Because I haven't been receiving any other check. But whatever, you're gonna be caught. Even if they get this one, or whatever I'm expecting, even if they're gonna be caught. So if you want to be a 20-something-year-old to spend 20 and 30 years behind in jail, please be my guest. Do you, okay? So you can't use your age when you get caught and say nothing, because you're purposely going into people's mailboxes, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that is happening to. Have you ever heard that on the news, that somebody went to the bank and see that they have millions and $1 million in their account, and they don't know where it came from? That's because they won something, but they don't know that they won something. And somebody is keeping an eye on them, and stealing all their mail, because they're doing to them what they're doing to me. They got somebody in a bank, deposit the checks from these lotto people, or whatever company that they win, and they cash a check for them and their crew. So when that woman see that 41 million or whatever million in their account, it's actually her money, but she don't know it. So she thinks it's a mistake. So then she go to the bank, and the person who's in part of the crew say, "Oh, it's a mistake," or get somebody else to say it's a mistake, take it out, and then transfer it to wherever they gotta transfer it. Because so happened, maybe they missed that day, and they couldn't come in early that day to manipulate the woman's account. So instead of the woman knowing she won money, they making her feel like it was a mistake. It wasn't no mistake. It wasn't no mistake. It was her money, but they stealing it from her. That's part of a game. Yes. That's what these people do. So this poor woman thinking it's a mistake that it's her money. It's not her money, and she notifies the bank, oh, you made a mistake. No, they didn't make a mistake. Somebody deposited your check in your account, which you don't know that you're supposed to get money because they've been going through your mail and stealing everything out your mail that in regards to any kind of money, checks and credit cards and all that stuff. And maybe you're like me. I play um get things all the time, like Lotto and Publishing House and stuff like that. So I play that all the time. So maybe she's like me, and she goes on thing and she win, and she didn't know she win. She didn't know she won because they got her mail to know when they come into the house. So happened the doctor calls, oh, your appointment has been changed to so and so and so and so, because they people at the hospital want them out the house so they can stand in front of the door and pretend to be that person. Meanwhile, the person come home not not figuring out nothing. Then they know the check is coming. They look out for the check. They got the postman or the post girl looking out for the check, and tell them, oh, put it in my box by mistake or whatever. And, of course, you're not going to get it back. Or put it on top of the mailbox or something. Or damn right, just bring it to me. So watch to see next time you see somebody win something. I mean, find some money in their account. Watch to see and see if I'm lying. That person just don't know that they won something because somebody's watching their account and watching their mail. That's why I'm making this whole big deal about the mail, because something got to come through the mail, something got to come UPS, something got to come DHL, you know. So these people know how it's coming because they monitoring your mail. So therefore, they got to cash a check. Therefore, they got to go around and pretend to be you. So they need your ID. So therefore, the person in the hospital is going to tell you that you have to give your ID because there's a new thing now in the hospital. Then somebody go in, get a copy of your ID, order your ID, comes to them, blah blah blah, or goes to your house and they going into your mail at your house. Or like I said, put it in my box. They can't tell you it's not a mistake. You know what the boss at the post office is gonna oops. That's all they're gonna think. That's all they count on. Well, it was a mistake. Maybe I put it in the wrong box or whatever. Oh, I closed her box. Or they're gonna do like me, or do like them, because now they tracking your mail. They can say, oh, can you send this to my neighbor, or can you hold this at the post box? And they go to the post office and pretend to be you with your ID that they fraudulently received, and pick up your mail. They got all the time to think about all these things because it's been going on for years and years and years. And people is too afraid to say anything because it's 1,000 of them and it's only one of you. Well, if one of you is happening to somebody else, so that's one of them, that makes two people. Then it's me, that's three people. So if we all say something, it's gonna eventually have to stop. Because now we're telling other people what to look out for. and who to look out for and how it's done, because they mad at me because I'm telling the cops how their crimes are being committed, what they're doing and how they're doing it. That's why they mad. Because their movement looks so simple. Their movements look like regular day goings on. Oh, she works in the hospital. She's asking for ID, blah, blah, blah. She's doing it for everybody. I don't know. I didn't see nobody else have to fill out nothing. I came out, see one other person. Everybody else was going up there asking for this and asking for that. I ain't see nobody fill out nothing. Soon as she got to me, oh, you gotta fill this out. Oh, it started today. Okay, it started today. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. It's just the point I have to give you my ID, okay? But these people are mad because I'm telling the cops, I'm telling the good cops, I'm telling the FBI, I'm telling all the other agencies what to look out for. Because sometimes, their moves are so slick and sweet that, sometimes the cops and the FBI say, okay, well, I just see people online. No. Like, for instance, if there's a lookout and they trying to point you out, they're not gonna say, oh, here she is, here she is, here she is. No, they're gonna set up like, okay, they're gonna say, when I see her, I'm gonna jump the line in front of her to let you know that she's behind me. She's your next client. So they would ask you, oh, can I step in front of you? I just got to do so and so and so. That's a signal to the person that you're going to talk to that you're the one. But for the average person, and if a cop is looking or whatever, oh no, the person just asked to go in front of you or whatever, and the person say, yeah. No, that's one of their strategies to notify whoever that you're next. That's one of their strategies. It looks simple, but it's not. They pointing you out. Many times I just go to a plain old restaurant. Oh, can I skip you for a minute? I just forgot. I'm like, go ahead. I can't do nothing. Who I'm gonna tell? Who I'm gonna tell that you're part of the clique? Who am I gonna tell? They always want to jump in front of you for something because that's their signal to their people who's doing whatever. Yeah, she's the one. Her information I need. I need something from her. She's the one. Mess her up, do this, do that, whatever. Whatever the scheme is for that day, that's how they point that person out. By skipping the line. Or walking in front of you. Or trying to get on the elevator. These simple moves. A simple move as that. And to the average eye, it's just a woman trying to, get something done in front of. No, that's their signal. They signaling their people. So next time somebody do that to you, don't fuss with them. Just watch their movements. Watch who they hang around with. Watch their movement. And when you get up to the front, see what happens. See how they talk to you. See how they treat you. See what they ask you to give them. And if you're having problem with somebody and they ask you for like your personal ID or something brand new for the facility or whatever, and that you never heard, yeah, they trying to get something out of you because they need something. They probably need your ID to go claim your check or do something. Or they keeping you. They signaling that they at your house breaking in, so they need you to stay where you're at a certain amount of time so they can go to your house and do what they got to do. Yep. It's not no in and out. No. A lot of them got to be online, or they got to hold you up because they need more time at your house or wherever, or by your car or something. They digging through your car, they digging in your house, something. They need time. So keep her there. I need certain amount of time to do what I gotta do. So y'all need to keep her where she's at this amount of time. We'll signal you when we're done. And this is what they do. It could be the cops, it could be whomever. Could be your enemy, whomever. They need more time to do what they do. So that's why they signaling their people. Well, one of the reasons they signaling their people that that's you. So hold you up or get your ID or have you sign something or something. They doing something. Bets and believe it. I had it done to me so many times. A simple chore as me going to the grocery store. Come back in my house feels funny. Come to find out they got cameras all over my house. And I'm pointing out, pointing. Nobody believes me. Because they want, and if it's the cops, they want to use the crooked cops. They want to use their authority to come in your house, break in, and find out what you're doing. So they go tell their superior officers, if they tell their superior officers, most of the times they don't. Oh, she's so and so and so, so we gotta keep her under surveillance and blah 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 blah. And they set up cameras. You can't see it. You don't know. But I feel when somebody's watching me. Like I said, I think somewhere in my hallway, right there, between the bedroom and the bathroom, there's a light over there. I think there's a camera in there. There was a light up here, a camera in my room. Yeah, they don't care. Personal shit. I could be screwing my man on my bed. They would see me. They would see me having sex. I could be in the toilet taking a dump. They would see me. They don't care. They think they badge allows them to do whatever. And they making it seem like it's because she's this and she's no, it's for their drug game. Don't believe nothing she said because she's crazy. Because they want to keep you under 24-hour surveillance for their crew. They're going to show you who's boss. But for the good cops out there, you got to start reporting your partner. You got to put them under surveillance because they're making the whole NYPD look bad. I know I put, with the 90% or whatever the case, but any cop, any one of them, don't have to be Spanish or whatever. It's black, white, Spanish, Italian, all of them. The majority of them can't leave the street on the street because their family's so entwined with illegalities. And as an officer, they tell us, it's like, oh, you're gonna know people who does so and so. You just gotta stay away from them. They tell us in the academy. But some of these cops, they can't. They wanna, be a cop and they wanna be a criminal all at once. So it's not the whole NYPD. because I know they saying, oh, she don't like Spanish, or she don't like this, and so they passing it from precinct to precinct to precinct or whatever, because I have the nerve enough to report them. So now they're either using um being the same race and saying she don't like us, or they using the badge of blue to say she don't like us. No, it's not that. It's that y'all keep bothering me. Y'all don't wanna just let me rest and let me be alone, or whatever the case may be. You keep bothering me and my family and my friends. You want to walk around and intimidate people, and who's intimidated, they would leave me alone or whatever. But, so you want to use your bad. Oh, if you come on this block, oh, you're going to get arrested for what? For coming on the block to see me? Or you going to make up stuff like you try to make up stuff with me? What are you going to arrest him for? What are you going to arrest him for? What? You going to make shit up? Because I'm not afraid of you. So now I'm not afraid of you. You're going to try to intimidate people that I talk to? So let me find out who you are, and I'm gonna point you out. And then I'm not even gonna stop there. I'm gonna point out. I'm gonna find out what your man do or what your woman do. I'm gonna get in their business and see how you like it. And then whatever you're doing and they helping you, I'm gonna implicate them. I'm gonna let the feds know, or the DEA or CIA, what all of y'all is doing. Since you wanna intimidate my man, intimidate whoever I'm seeing, intimidate my family, I'm gonna bring y'all all in. So since you can't stop with me and you want to go after my family and my man and my friends and stuff like that, I'm gonna go after your family. I'm gonna find out what they doing and see how you like that. Oh, she got nothing to do. No, yes she does. Because she hear your story all the time, and she tells you when the person's on the block, or she's your fucking lookout or whatever.